Yo, my name is Lyon Woodstock Jnr. You're watching SKTV. Welcome to my journey.
My name is Lyon Woodstock Jnr. and I'm a professional boxer. The reason I started boxing, I've always had a passion for fighting and combat sports and combat, you know what I mean? So like, I've always wanted to be involved in it, and my granddad was a boxer as well, and he was always showing me videos and telling me about how he used to fight and how his dad used to fight as well. So like, it started like a little bit of inspiration, you know what I mean? I was like, yo, I want to do that. I want to know what it feels like to get in the ring and fight somebody, do you know what I mean? Like, I've always loved fighting, do you know what I mean? Like, it's always been something that I've loved, like even watching. Like, I ain't a part of MMA or anything, but I'll watch it because it's combat, do you know what I mean? Like, it's all the same to me, fighting's fighting. And yeah, so like, that's what first like started me thinking like, yo, I want to start doing that. And then as I was growing up, I was always getting into stupid fights and this, that and the other, and like, I would pretty much always come out on top. Like, the fight would obviously be scuffling, rolling around, swinging, but literally as soon as I landed the punch, that was it, the fight was over, do you know what I mean? Literally, that's it. And like, that's when I started to like know, like, yo, I could hit quite hard, do you know what I mean? So it's always been something that has been there, no matter how small I was, because I was small, like I was real small. When I was in secondary school, I think I was like 5'5" or something ridiculous like that. I was tiny, man. And I didn't start boxing until I was about 16, you know what I'm saying? So I was small at that age, but I could hit, so it didn't really matter. It kind of balanced it out. But yeah, that's pretty much why I wanted to get into it and start, you know what I mean? Yeah, legit, like that's what happened. Like, because I was always nagging my mom, like, Mom, please, I want to box. Take me somewhere to box. I want to learn how to box. Like, this is so stupid. And I used to have fight night, you know that game? Yeah. And like, I would see, because like, even in them days, they used to put the technique like in the game proper. So I'd be watching like how they're throwing punches. Like, I see you turn his hip, and he turn his foot for that punch, and I was like, all right. So like, my mum got me a bag. So like, I'd be on the bag and I'd be like visualizing how they're throwing the punches, and like, so I'd follow it. You know what I mean? Like, they're so stupid. I was so young, but like, that's how I'd like teach myself, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? But and before I came here, I was at like some youth club doing like, it's just little training, nothing serious. But this was the first proper bit of fighting, boxing, like all in one that I ever did. Do you know what I mean? Like, up until then, I was just like, it was all off my own head, sort of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Oh man, it's been good. I've had loads of ups, loads of downs, like loads of downs. Like, it's hard. It's so much harder than I ever thought it was gonna be. Like, before I turned pro, like way before I turned pro, obviously near the end, like when I was coming up to turning pro, I kind of knew what it would like involve. But way before that, I thought it was like, turn pro, train, fight, win, earn money, do this, fame, this, that, and I thought it was just straightforward, but it's not. It's really not. It's so stressful that I've got to deal with so much paperwork. I've got to deal with all my own accounts. I've got to do everything on myself. It's stressful, it really is, but it's all part of the game, so I don't mind. Like, all of that stuff to me is like, that's all the boring bit. Even the training, I don't even like training. I don't like it. I just like fighting. I don't even like boxing. I don't watch boxing. I hate it. It's so boring. I just like fighting. I love getting in the ring and expressing myself. Do you know what I mean? And that's one of the best ways I find like expressing myself. Like, when it comes to doing anything where it entails you bringing your character and your personality, and I've always done well in that department. Like, when drama at school, I loved it because I could express myself. Do you know what I mean? Like, art, I loved it. I could express myself. I just love putting what's in here out into the world. Do you know what I'm saying? So like, but boxing, like that's my key to everything. Like, that opens up everything for me. That allows me to do everything that I want. So that's why I just love fighting. I love that bit. I hate everything else. Loads. So many, do you know what I mean? I never had my mum and my dad around from early, do you know what I mean? From very early. So I've had to deal with the situation, like, of not having a father figure around. That's where Hudge came into the picture. But so it's been difficult. So right up until I was 16, like, don't get me wrong, single moms are great. Like, what they're doing is amazing. Do you know what I mean? They bring up a kid on their own, but they can't teach a boy how to be a man. They can't, because they're not a man themselves. No matter how hard they try, no matter what they do, like, they won't be able to teach a boy how to be a man. Like, I love my mum to bits, you know what I mean? She did her best, she tried her hardest, but she could never teach me how to be a man, never, no matter how hard she tried. So from literally right up to 16, I was just learning myself, do you know what I mean? So then when I met Hudge, that's when like obviously it took like a few years for us to proper like gel together, but we had a bond from like the word go, because we come from the same sort of background, you know what I'm saying? So like when I was younger, I never used to think not having a dad was such a big deal. I never thought it really impacted me that much. But as I've got older and I look back, like it does, it really does. If you ain't got them foundations there and the fundamentals, things just, they don't go the way they should. But then on the other hand, because silver lining and everything, it's made me how I am. It's made me so strong. Like, let's say my dad was around, maybe I wouldn't grow up as tough as I am or have certain qualities that I've got now, do you know what I'm saying? So you can look at it from both different ways. Same with like my family as well. My family still, even to this day, like I ain't even bothered if they try and say anything. They ain't that supportive. They ain't. A lot of them really are not supportive, and it's, I don't know if it's jealousy or wishing they did something when I was younger, but like, you know, when you've got people in your family that are doing good, don't matter like what they're doing, if they're doing good, support them, man. Do you know what I'm saying? You got to be there to help them get to the levels that they want. You know what? I've never felt nervous to fight, ever. Like, felt apprehensive and like, yo, I wonder what's gonna happen, but I've never felt like, shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm in a fight, what do I do? I've never felt like nerves, but I felt like apprehension, like I said, and like, yo, I don't know what way it's gonna go sort of thing, but I've never like had the, like, a fear of fighting or anything. Like, I always just dive in head first, see what happens, do you know what I'm saying? So, to be walking out, my entrance was longer than the fight, bear in mind, yeah. So to walk out in front of like, I think there was about 1,000 people there, and like people calling my name and like seeing all the faces and people that bought tickets, and I was just like, yo, like, this is wicked. I didn't get to choose the song to come out to, but to bring one. I thought they have songs there, so but I still got to come out to Chris Brown, so it's alright. And like to walk in, it was just amazing. Like I just felt like the center of attention for that moment. Do you know what I mean? Like everyone's looking at me, and when I got in there. And like I finished him in like 29 seconds or something like that. Like the first proper punch that I threw, dropped him straight away, finished him, and it was over. I was a little bit disappointed. Like I've been waiting all this time, and it was 30 seconds. Do you know what I'm saying? But it was amazing, man. I don't think nothing can top fighting, getting in the ring, the feeling you get. You'll never get that from anything else. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. So that's an experience that will be in my head like until I'm gone. I was thinking about doing it. I was, because I got called up after the Elite Championships. Like I said, I got to the semi-finals. Bearing in mind, I entered with 19 fights. I entered with 19 fights, and everyone else in there, they had like 50 to 60 fights. There was even people 70, 80 fights in this championship. So everyone was like laughing at me, and I was like, what are these doing here? Do you know what I mean? These ain't meant to be here. Like, go to your under 20s championship. But I was like, I was about to say like, no, I didn't. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was looking at her, like, are you sure? Like we're meant to be here. Like, are you 100% sure? It's just have faith. And I was like, all right then. Like I've had faith in you for like this whole journey, and like up until now, you've not like proved me wrong or anything. Not proved me wrong. You've not like put me in the wrong position. You've not made me make a wrong decision. So I have faith in you. But yeah, the first fight I had in that Elite Championships. The guy had 54 fights or something like that, and like that was my 20th fight, and I dropped him in the first round and beat him unanimous. And I was like, yo, they ain't that great, to be fair. These guys that have had all these fights, they ain't much of a difference, you know what I mean? I ain't even been boxing that long compared to these guys. So then I went into the next fight. I fought like an army boy. I think he had 60 something fights. Stopped him in the second round on cuts. Then I fought Ryan Fingham. That was the hardest fight I've ever had in the amateurs ever. Dropped him in the first round, beat him on a split decision, and then the day after that I got into the semis, I had to fight again, a boy called Jack Daniels, and he beat me on a split decision, but it was one of the close ones. But I was knackered from the fight before, man. That was, like I said, hardest fight I've ever had in the amateur career, and to have that and have to go and fight the next day was hard, man. I didn't have the same kick that I normally do you know what I mean, where like it would be like head and head, and then I'd go bang, and then it'd be knockout, and I'd win. Do you know what I mean? That's what would normally happen, but I just didn't have that kick to do it. So they lost in that. Bearing in mind, Jack Daniels had like 75 fights. Do you know what I'm saying? Lost to him, and then I got called up after that because I got to the semis, and obviously I've only had such little fights. So I got called up to GB to go and do some trials with them. Went training with them for a bit, but they tried to change me so much. They tried, because I've got a very like come forward style, very aggressive, you know what I mean? Like, I like to try and put people away. And they just tried to take that away from me. They wanted me like tap, move, and they were just telling me stupid little things to do. The setup was nice, like they'd pay for your food, your accommodation, everything, like they looked after you, but I weren't agreeing with how they was trying to change me as a fighter. And like I said, that's where I express myself. You're not gonna take my personality away in there, as well as the rest of this society and all the government trying to take everything else from me. This is the only place I can be me, do you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna allow them to take that away from me as well. So I literally told Hudge, like, I ain't doing it. But before that, actually, let me say what happened. They told me when I fight overseas, if I get onto the squad, Hudge won't be in my corner. One of their guys will be. And that was just the deal breaker for me. I was like, no, I ain't doing this. So I never went back to their next training camp. Told Hudge I'm not doing it. And he was like, what do you mean? Like, bearing in mind that up to this point, everything Hudge says, I'm just like, all right, cool, do this, do everything, do you know what I mean? So for me to go to Hudge, like, I'm not doing that, it was like a big thing, do you know what I mean? And he was shocked, like, what do you mean? Like, this is the next step for you, like, that's where you've got to go. You've done all this, you've done that, that's the next place for you. You've got to start fighting internationally, you've got to start boxing this, and then you might even get into the Olympics and this, that, and the other. So I was like, I ain't doing it. If you're not in my corner, I won't fight, do you know what I mean? I ain't gonna fight, I ain't gonna do it. This whole time, I've been fighting for you and for me and for what we stand for, do you know what I mean? What we've been through. Like I said, we've got quite a similar upbringing, do you know what I'm saying? Like, just like, well, the only next step from here now then is to turn pro. And then that's when we signed the contract. Because to be fair, 2 years prior to that, amateurs, 2 years prior to that, we got a call up from Frank Warren and Jason anyway, and they wanted to turn pro then, but we declined it because Hudge wanted to get more experience in the amateurs, do you know what I mean? And which I was very lucky to get. I'm glad I did it because at the time I was like, man, I wanted to turn pro at 18. He was like, no, gotta wait, you're gonna need to get some experience. I was like, I'm ready, man, I'll knock these guys out. And he was like, no, you gotta wait. So listened to him, like I said, and then got to that point, and then that's when I turned over. So I was like 21, 22. Like I said, I don't really watch boxing because it's not because I don't like boxing, I just don't like boxing today. It's boring. It feels like WWE, like it's all set up and all that. I don't enjoy it at all. They're always trying to put together bloody Joe the Road Sweeper against super amazing fighter. Do you know what I mean? I don't like that. I don't really like it. I ain't about that. So today's fighters, I don't really look up to any of them. I can see little things that they do that works for them and that's good, and it's like, yeah, man, I could probably take something from that, because I'd be ignorant to think like no one can teach me anything, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I can look at anyone. When I come down and I teach the kids down there, and there's even times that we've got a southpaw down there, his name's Mo. And because I like to switch sometimes, so, and he's naturally a southpaw, so he'll naturally do things. So, and this kid's like 11, and I'll look at him and I'll see what he will naturally throw, what combos naturally happen for him, do you know what I'm saying? Because they'll be different to an orthodox fighter, because obviously your styles will clash, so you've got to throw different combinations to open them up in a different way. So I watch what he'll naturally throw and I'll take that away. So when I switch to southpaw, I'll be like, what did Mo throw? And then obviously refine it, perfect it to make it my own sort of thing. So you can look at anyone and take anything from anyone. You can learn from anyone, don't matter about age, experience or anything. So I take little things from these boxers nowadays, but they don't really excite me in any kind of way. I love the old era of boxing. I feel like boxing has lost its way a little bit. But the fight, like, I've got a few, to be fair, but my main fighter that is like, yo, who I wanted to be like, definitely Sugar Ray Robinson all day. He was like the best. Like, I used to watch him as a kid, like I said. He could move so fluently, but like when he planted his feet, he just hit you so hard. And to have the right balance, it's so hard to do that. Like, when you're actually in the ring, it's hard to do. So to know that he could do that, I just found that amazing. Like, to move quick, solid, bang, move again, like, it's crazy, man. He, to me, is like, he's the king of boxing, man, all day, definitely. Sugar Ray Robinson. I've never been asked that before. Which is, he's a very particular person. You've got to get things right in a certain way for him to be happy, you know what I mean? Like, he could tell me to throw 1-2 left hook, roll out, and then step out. And I could do it, boom, 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 roll out, step out, and he'd be like, no. And I'd be thinking, I just done it. And he'd be like, yeah, but you didn't do it how I wanted you to do it. And like, because he's so particular and he makes you do things to a certain way, when you get in the ring and like you actually put it into play, it's perfect. Do you know what I mean? Like, punches are missing you by centimeters, not inches. Whereas if I did it how I was doing it, the punch would probably still miss me, but it would be like a centimeter. Do you know what I mean? Or like 4 inches or something like that. But if I did it how he's told me to, the punch will literally just graze me there. And if someone can just touch you there, you know they're right there to hit. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if I was a bit more out, it'd take a bit more time. Do you know what I mean? So he likes everything perfect and precise. Like, precision with him is like everything. Everything's got to be so on point. He loves getting things bang on, do you know what I'm saying? Like, especially with the training as well. That's why I think he's a good trainer. He gets everything right. He knows when to make you peak. He knows when you're peaking too soon to pull you back a little bit and then kick. Do you know what I mean? Like, he'll tell you in rounds sometimes, just rest a little bit, chill. Don't be going too wild, just pop him with the jab. Like, because he's like, no, it ain't the time now. It ain't the time now to open him up or put the pressure on him. Right? Do you know what I mean? So he's very, very smart. Another thing, like, he knows everything. Like, he's like an oracle. He just knows everything. And I don't just mean on boxing. Like, he just knows everything. Like, you can sit down with this man for like an hour and he will open your mind up to so much. Do you know what I mean? He will put scenarios and different things in front of you that just make you think like, yo, yeah, man, I see what you're saying. Because like, there's a lot of times that people just think he's just some ruthless guy. Don't really like, he's hard to talk to or whatever. But when he explains things and breaks them down to you, see why his reactions are the way they are for certain things, and it makes sense. Do you know what I'm saying? So he's a smart guy, man. Like, his mind is crazy powerful, man. He's got some mad aura as well. Like, when he's in the room, you know he's in the room. Do you know what I mean? Like, he projects himself, like I said, into the world the right way, and that's what I'm trying to get off of him. Do you know what I mean? I want to be able to just get in the ring and everyone in that whole arena, especially the man I'm fighting, knows what's about to happen. Do you know what I mean? He's just got that about him. So being around him, hopefully I'll learn things and pick up things from him and hopefully become 100% Lyon Woodstock, because I'm still on my journey learning who I am and how I'm going to be. Do you know what I mean? We're never really the finished article. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm just like a sponge right now, especially in the time that I've got around him, just sucking everything up, man. I think for me to be doing boxing, especially at the level I'm at and the way I'm doing it, I have to be with Hudge or someone like Hudge. Like, I don't think I'd be able to even get this far if I had just a normal trainer. Do you know what I'm saying? Because, like, we've all got our plus sides and we've also all got our negative sides. And the things that were a negative with me, which I think and I'm quite sure are to do with the reason not having a dad around and no male figure there. I'm quite like just off the chain sort of. Do you know what I mean? I lack a bit of discipline. Like, I'm not rude or haven't got manners, ain't like that. I lack a bit of discipline. Do you know what I mean? So, and he's shown that up. So where he can show that up with me, put things right, explain things to me, make me do the right things instead of just thinking I know it all. Not consciously, it's like a subconscious thing, because obviously, like I said, from this age to 16, I was my teacher. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's not like I'm purposely doing it. I don't purposely go around like some idiot, like I know this, I know that, blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? It's just subconsciously, it just happens. It's a natural thing. So to have someone like Hudge there, I think it's a massive, massive thing. I need a mentor. That's the word I'm looking for. You need a mentor, 100%. With Hudge, it's like, I know what he's done. I know where he's came from. He's came from the same background as me. He's from the streets. His story's in the streets. Everyone knows about him. Do you know what I mean? So there ain't no question in there. If he says jump, I'm like, how high, how many times? Do you want me to do it on my hands? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just straightforward. Like, I've got that mutual respect for him. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, anything he says, boom, I'll get it done to the best of my ability. So to have that bond there, I think it's highly, highly important. Like, I know many fights that I've had, if Hudge wasn't there, I probably would have got dropped, knocked out, or just lost. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, with him there, he's like, I feel like there's two of us fighting. Do you know what I mean? We've had many people that got out of the ring from sparring and fights, and I feel like I'm fighting two people, because he's shouting up, do this, do that, do this, but then like sometimes they're getting ready for it, but they don't know when it's gonna happen, so they're just like, yo, when is it gonna happen? Like, I've heard him say it, but I do bang, 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 oh damn. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just happens and they're like, shit. But yeah, we've heard it loads of times. It's like I'm fighting two people, so he's like my guardian angel in the ring. That's what I see him like, man, my protector. It's probably beating Ryan Fillingham, because he was number 2 in the country, and after I beat him, I became number 3 in the country in the amateurs. he was like everyone was like thought I was gonna lose that fight. I thought I was gonna lose that fight. Like I think there's a picture of me after I like beat him. Like I'm on the floor like what? Like I actually won. But yeah, I think it was beating Ryan Fulham. That's probably one of my highlights. One of my favourite moments though is when I knocked out 2 guys in the same night because the ABA's messed up the who's fighting who thing, and we had to draw straws for someone who's gonna fight 2 times in a row. And I already knew, because I know how my life is, I know how everything's set up. Like everything's always set up to be the hardest route possible for me. That's how I feel. So I knew it. I 100% knew it's gonna be me. I even told her, I was like, watch it be me. Like I'm gonna have to fight twice tonight, and I thought I was gonna lose because like who fights twice in one night? So I was like, watch it, it's gonna be me. Pick the straw out short. I knew it. I wouldn't even try and pick one. I just picked it, and I was like, fine, whatever. And I knocked. And Hutch told me knock the first guy out in the first round. That's what he told me as his words. He was like, knock him out in the first round. Like, and he was holding my head, and he was just looking at me, knock him out in the first round. And I was just like, all right. I didn't think how I was gonna do it. I didn't know what I was gonna do. And he was a traveller lad. Bearing in mind, between these two, there was only 2 losses. So one's had, I think he had 8 fights and lost once. The other one had 9 fights and lost once as well. So it was like they're good kids. They're not crap. And came out, knocked him out in the first round. Got back, and I was like, yo, you actually were. So then I had an hour to rest, and I was chilling out a little bit. Had something to drink. Watched one of the fights. Came back to Woods, and he was like, all right, this next guy you're fighting, you're not going to knock him out in the first round. He's too tricky. He's got all these skills, like really slippery, really like slick. So I was like, all right, then he's like, you're going to have to wear him down and knock him out later on. So I was like, all right, cool. So the first round, I was just like jabbing him, moving, and I noticed very soon I ain't going to land a big shot on this guy. Like I'm going to have to do loads of little shots, then throw a big one, because he was too quick. He was so he was like Nas, so slippery. I couldn't catch him. He was all over the place. No, I'm not even joking. At one point, I threw a left hook, and he's like this, and he's rolled under it and span out, and I've gone like that, completely missed. Done a 360, fell into the ropes, and I've just turned around, looked over to Hutch like, what the fuck? Like, who is this guy? Is he part of the X-Men? Like, so I came back out, hitting him. Bell went, got back, and he was like, that's good. You're walking him down, you're setting up your shots and that. I was like, I can't hit him clean. He was like, you will, you're tiring him, don't worry. So I was like, all right, cool, have faith. So I came back out, boom, bang, dropped him. That was the first time I dropped him. And then I went to my corner, I looked at him, I was like, yeah, cool, good. He got up, moved around, bang, dropped him again. And I was like, yes, it's working. Then the bell went, because all I was thinking was like, damn, I needed one more, and then I would have like won by default. So I was just like, damn it. Came out for the last round, boom, dropped him, called it off. And I was just like, yo, I just knocked 2 guys like in one night. I was so gassed. And that was like, that's like one of my favourite moments ever in boxing. Even though it was in the amateurs, like, that don't happen, do you know what I mean? Like, you don't do that. And like, I don't feel I was lucky enough to get the opportunity to do it or whatever, but I got the opportunity and I took it, do you know what I'm saying? So that's one of my favourite moments in boxing, man, definitely. And then like the best like achievement in my career so far is definitely beating the number 2 in the whole country, do you know what I mean? And then taking the spot as number 3. Like, yeah, I liked that, man. That was good.
Just for the camera, would you obviously fight twice again in one night?
Yeah, definitely. You know what? Especially if I could get 2 knockouts again, yeah, I'd do that again anytime. I wouldn't say no. I just want a belt. That's what I want. That's probably a short-term goal. Long-term, obviously, I want a world title. I want multiple world titles at different weight categories. Like, I want to be remembered. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just be here for a bit and then gone. Do you know what I mean? You only get a short window, so I want to just seize the opportunity. So, like when people talk about Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson, that I want to be the other name not spoken about, you know what I'm saying, along with Roy Jones and Mayweather and all these other guys. I want to be spoken in the same breath as them. Like, and sometimes people think I'm crazy when I say that, but these guys did it. Do you know what I mean? They was just normal guys, you know what I'm saying? Just had a dream, had aspirations, and seized the moment. So what in this world can stop me from doing that? If I'm set on doing that, how? I don't see how. The only thing that will defeat me is myself, letting things outside ruin me, letting people outside ruin me. But if I don't do that, then what's the other factor that's going to stop me? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if I train hard enough and I know I've got the talent. I've watched myself. I know I've got the talent. I've got the motivation, the determination. Then I don't see what can stop me. Do you know what I'm saying? So just see what happens in that sense. But yeah, that's what I'd like. One other thing, like a personal thing to me, because I came from quite a rocky background and craziness went on. I'd like to show people, especially the younger kids in Beaumont Lees, like, you can actually do something. Do you know what I'm saying? Because like I was always told, like, oh, you're not gonna do this, you're gonna become this, blah blah blah. Like boxing wasn't even in my head at that time. I didn't even know like I would ever even put a pair of gloves on and punch someone in the face and get paid for it. I never thought that. Do you know what I'm saying? So like to be told that at that age as well, because that's when your mind's growing and like gonna produce certain hormones and you're gonna start thinking a certain way. You finally start to become who you're gonna become for the rest of your life. So to be told them things at that age, I think that's terrible. You shouldn't be filling these kids with that kind of stuff. So I just want to show these people and these kids like there's something more. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you can actually do anything that you want. You really can. All you got to do is apply yourself to it. If you really, really want to do something, like say right now I was like, I want to become an astronaut. Why could I not? If I went through the courses, signed up for the courses, went to go and do all of it, and passed everything, why can I not do that? If I apply myself to it and I put myself in it, stop boxing, just go and do that, of course I could do that. So when people say, I know it's such a cliche, I hate it, or you can be anything, you literally can, you really can. All you got to do is apply yourself. Like same with you, with your SKTV. Like you could blow up and be big, of course you can. Do you know what I mean? It's all a matter of a time, that's all it is. You're interviewing the right people. Do you know what I'm saying? So you're gonna get in the right place. I'm messing, man. But yeah, you're gonna go in the right positions, and you're gonna get big. Like if you keep doing it, that's all that will happen. Do you know what I mean? Hodge has always told me excellence will always find its place. Do you know what I'm saying? So regardless of people, like even in the amateurs, were giving me losses when I shouldn't be losing, or got people putting me down, or people trying to make me not achieve what I need to achieve, just trying to hold me down, keep me down here. Excellence will always find its place. So eventually, whether sooner or later, I'm gonna get up there. You can't hold me down, you can't. Like I said, excellence will always find its place. So there's nothing they can do. I'm glad you asked that. You know what? Without like them, literally, it ain't possible. It really isn't. Even but like before I was pro, even that side of things I never really thought about. I just thought, like I said, it was train, fight, win, get paid, get famous. Everything's good. Like it ain't like that. Like you need money to do them things. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I ain't came from the best of backgrounds, so money was not a thing that was just around like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Unless you was willing to do some stupidness, which I tried to stay away from, but being in this area is hard not to, do you know what I'm saying? That's why I think boxing is just like, it's something like anyone can get into and make themselves be like good in, do you know what I'm saying? You don't have to pay a stupid amount of money to do it. You don't have to go and get this gear, that gear, this, because it's all here, you know what I'm saying? So even the poorest of families could put their kid into boxing, do you know what I'm saying? And like, imagine getting to my position now, do you know what I'm saying? So it's not like golf, you got to go and get all these sticks, you got to pay to go on the courts, you got, do you know what I mean? It's just, it's all money, 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 money. But like boxing is like a working man's sport. You can still get into it no matter what position you're in. So like, I think that's something like really important. So to have the sponsors around to be able to back me up in everything that I want to do, because I've been sparring with the world champion, I've been sparring British champions. But how am I getting there? Walking. Like I ain't that crazy. Do you know what I'm saying? We ain't walking there. It takes a lot of petrol. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it really does. So these sponsors have been helping out loads, like head guards, gloves, boots, like these things. Because I'm training 6 to 8 hours a day, they get worn out a lot faster than your normal pair of kit. Do you know what I'm saying? So like they're always backing me up. Even in the food department, they help you with that. Like I've got sponsored by the local fruit store, veg store. They're helping me with all my fruit and veg, and also the local meat man. He's helping me out. Like everyone's like helping me. Do you know what I'm saying? So like without these people, I'd be like eating beans on toast, training in like boots with holes in. Which is another thing, I forgot to say that. I've still got these boots at home. I fought in the championships with boots with holes in. And Hodge was like, I'll buy you some. I was like, no, these are my boots. I'm gonna box in them. And I fought in the championships, knocking man out and beating man up with boots that had holes in the bottom. That's crazy, man. That's just reminded me, that's nuts. Like, you know, when I think back to them times, it's like, what the hell, did you really do that? nuts, man, craziness. Even my head guard, it had like a hole in the side. I wasn't bothered, man. Doesn't matter, I ain't bothered. Like, I'll just beat you up. Like, that's all I thought. I'll just beat you up, don't matter. But yeah, man, sponsors, big thing. You need them. Without sponsors, you ain't got nowhere. You just stay here. That's it, and do good here. But you want to do good everywhere. So you need them. So to have people helping me and make things a lot less stressful, a lot less difficult is, yeah, man, you need that or you ain't going nowhere. You'll only go so far. You'll go far, but you won't go too far. I've got Thomas Cassidy's roofing company sponsoring me. Like, they help me so much, honestly. Like, he's like my best friend, man. Like, any troubles that I've had, like, I know I can go and talk to him, and he's helped me out. Like, any little money issues I've had, like, he will help me out. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, even like certain positions I maybe shouldn't be in financially, like, he's got my back. Do you know what I mean? So like, that's a safety there, but it's not something to take the mick of. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not like, I don't really need to worry because he'll look after me. Do you know what I mean? It's not that, because I ain't gonna learn. Do you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I ain't really never had anything. So to have someone, like, I ain't too quick to go and ask for help because I'm so used to sorting myself out. So it's not like a take the piss situation, like I can just get myself in shit and I'll be fine. It ain't even like that because I'm so used to sorting everything out myself. It's even still then, it's a last resort. But he always, I know he's like got me. Anything goes wrong, I know I can go and talk to him and he can help me out. Same with the Beaumont store, them guys help me out so much, man. Beaumont Leash Market. There's one guy, he owns one of the stores. He does everything, loads of random stuff. Same guys, he helps me out tons, man, loads, for real. He's helped me out with sponsorship, he's helped me out with promotion, tickets. He's top, man. So it's good to have these good people around, and it makes me realize, like, I've got, like I said, back to the family, I've got people in my family that ain't even lifting a finger for me, but I've got these random people that I don't know from Adam willing to help me out, and that's what that screamed like to me. Do you know what I mean? I was like, for real, like these people that are my family, no, man, they're not real. Do you know what I'm saying? If I've got like these random strangers, they're not strangers now, but then they was willing to help me, put their hard-earned money like into me and invest. What are you lot doing? Do you know what I mean? Like, what's up? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I hear people talking black brother this, black brother that, and then people saying this, oh, but we're blood, and yeah, but when it really comes down to it, where are you at? Do you know what I'm saying? Don't think you're gonna try and jump on the bandwagon when I've got the world title and I'm fighting in Vegas or something like that, because I know that's when a lot of people are gonna start jumping on. Do you know what I'm saying? So I've kept like a nice list of people that have been there from the beginning, and now they're the ones that I'll remember. So when I am fighting over there, they'll get free hotel, free tickets, I'll sort everything out, the flight, everything. And then all you lot that want to jump on later on, you can all pay, innit? They can all pay. I ain't looking after them. You can still come and watch me though, because obviously I need viewers. So even though I'm doing well now, this is still the grind. I ain't at the top yet. I ain't gonna stop until I'm at the top. That sounds like that's a nice little slogan there. I went down to spar the world champion, very well with him. I thought, like, going down to spar him shortened my time expectation to become a world champion. Do you know what I'm saying? I thought it'd be a lot longer, but after sparring him and how well I did with him, it opened my eyes, like the gap ain't that big. I thought the gap was a lot bigger, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, he's a good fighter, man. I picked up a lot of little things from him, definitely. With boxing, do you see how many components there are to make everything happen on that night? Without the sponsors, it don't happen. Without Hood, it don't happen. Without the supporters and the people tuning in, viewing, like, it don't happen. Do you know what I mean? Like even before I turned pro, I always said, like, for me to get to the position that I want to, everyone has to come together. Do you know what I mean? Like everyone has to come together to push it. And if I make it, it ain't just gonna be me making it. Do you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like, there's a local artist around here. He's currently sorting out a song. He's doing a tune, so that's going to be on live television. Like I said, if I make it, we all make it. I know dancers. In one of my entrances, I'm going to be having some people dancing, because I used to dance as well, so could do something there. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I said, if I make it, we all make it. It's not just a one-way thing. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, these viewers, they're making it possible, man. Without them, I ain't doing anything. Do you know what I mean? I ain't going nowhere. If I ain't got people coming to watch me, like, my promoter's gonna be like, no one even likes this guy. Like, why am I gonna have him? He'll get rid of me. So obviously I'm putting out the right message and I'm making the right noise for these people, these random people. Some of them are so random, I've never even met them. Like, and they're telling me like, oh, you're so great at boxing, you're doing this, you're doing that, I'd love to come and see you one time, or I'd love to have some pictures of you. Like, for them, like, I'm in my head, I'm like, you know, I'm just Leon, innit? Like, I'm only Leon. Like, but to them, they don't see it like that. So obviously I'm making the right noise, and yeah, man, like I said, without them it ain't possible. So like, everyone that's supporting, man, massive shout out to them, man. Like, they obviously rate and respect what I'm doing. So I'm obviously doing good things. I've got an Instagram page. It's Lyon Woodstock Jnr _ for the space on all of them. Same on the Twitter, and it's same on Facebook. Just kept it simple, man. I was thinking like, what should I put as my name? But I didn't want it to be too confusing, like Leon.1. So, you know what I mean? Just some madness. I was like, I'll just put my name, man, Lyon Woodstock Jnr. But it's Leon with a Y.